So I got a new question, and the person says, Ascendor, who is it which is starting to see that they are awareness? It's the body mind, not the awareness itself, right? No, it's the awareness that is becoming aware of itself. Thinking happens in awareness, but awareness cannot think, can it? There is no one that is doing the thinking. When there is an activity of thought arising, then the thinking is always saying I, but it's not actually referring to someone. There is just an activity of thought happening in the ocean of awareness. But it's not someone that's doing it. The substance of a thought is awareness. So it's like a wave that is spontaneously appearing on the ocean of awareness. And a thought is still awareness. It's just assumed a form. And because it is saying I and it's telling a story about a person, there is the possibility to have the illusion of there being an actual person with a story and who has a history and who is traumatized and who has hopes and dreams and who has a future. But it's just an appearance in this timeless awareness. But there's no one that's doing the thinking. It's just an appearance in awareness. Realizations happen in awareness, but it's awareness which is realizing something, right? Yes, it's awareness that is becoming self-aware, that is becoming aware. And it's not that deep, actually. It's just, I'm aware. That's awareness being aware of itself. When you say that you are aware right now, you're not aware of your body. It's just, you intuitively know that you are. But what is it that knows that you are? So, and you continue, so realizations is happening in the body mind, and they have to realize that they are awareness. The fundamental self is awareness. And after that awareness, there is an arising of the mind and body. Mind is not really a thing, it's just the activity of thought that we call mind. And also the body is arising out of this awareness. So when awareness is becoming self-aware, then it has a direct impact on the mind, the thoughts, the body, because the mind, the thought, and body, they are one with awareness. So when awareness is becoming self-aware, the mind also has to kind of it then has the ability and almost like the authority to say, I know awareness now. But the thought isn't the one that knows the awareness. It's just an emanation of awareness. A thought that is saying, I know awareness now. But it's not actually the thought that knows it. It's just the awareness itself knows itself. But there's just an arising of a thought just to say, if it's useful in the moment, I do know awareness. For example, in a conversation. But realizations in the body, mind, and they have to realize that they are awareness. Should not they realize that they are the body, mind? Actually, it's a little bit hard to understand your question. You ask, should not they realize that they are body, mind? I think you're a little bit confused about subject and object. You think that it's the body mind that is becoming aware of awareness. But the body mind is something that is happening after awareness. It's the fundamental truth of who you are is awareness itself. But what comes after that is an emanation of thought, thinking, a sense of I, a sense of me, and there's like a body, and there are objects, and they're different. And people who are trying to find the truth, in non-duality circles, on trying to become awakened. The first motive is to to get a sense of peace and happiness. And then those non-duality teachers tell you that you can get this sense of peace and happiness when you realize that there is no self that is doing. There is no separate I, separate self that is living life. But you realize that it is life living through this body. And in your question, I can kind of sense that there is a lot of questioning. There's still a lot of mind activity that is trying to, like, what's it called? Dissect. I don't know if it's the right word. What is right? What is wrong? Is it actually right? What they're saying, is it truly awareness? But it won't help you a lot if you're asking me. You have to kind of go inward and discover. Don't just believe my words, but just find out for yourself what is fundamentally what you are. What is your true self? Because before you are becoming aware, you actually do have to direct your awareness onto the body to become aware of the body. So who is it that is directing the awareness onto the body? What is this I that is looking? And it's not a thought. So you kind of have to discover this for yourself to truly believe me when I'm saying that who you fundamentally are is awareness. And then you know who is this awareness. It's you. And the happiness part comes in when you realize that actually we don't have to make a distinction between awareness and body mind. Because when you're going deeply into the meditation, or when you just kind of realize that there's no one controlling this anyway, then there is a natural knowing, almost like a remembrance, that it is just this ocean, an infinite ocean that consists of sounds, appearances, objects, sensations and feelings, and it's just that. It's not me in the ocean, it's not the wave in the ocean, it's just this infinite appearance of yourself, in which there is no felt sense of separation. There's just this unity. There's just this flow of happenings, which is you. There's no distinction between you and other. But how can you get to this realization? Maybe in your case it could be helpful to mistrust your mind, to ignore the mind for a while and really just relax in the silence of your being by doing focal meditation. When you're becoming aware of your breath and the mind is questioning everything again, just go back to the breath. And then it's questioning everything again, just go back to the breath, until it becomes kind of natural and normal, and it becomes obvious that actually this thinking about activity has nothing to do with who I really am. And so it becomes easier to just rest, and then you can also let go of the breath. It just becomes natural to just rest without thinking. So, and then also the question, who am I, seems to become very irrelevant. And when you are just becoming still and you're no longer having the need to control anything, find out anything on a mental level, then the question of who is the subject, who is realizing all of this, is it the body mind that is realizing awareness, or is it awareness that is realizing awareness? Then you will see that it's just awareness becoming self-aware, and it's still. On top of awareness, there can be a ripple of thought happening, activity of thought, but that's not the problem. And also the felt sense of having a body is also just something that is happening in this field of awareness. It is allowed to be. Nobody's fighting it. Nobody is trying to get rid of it, but it's just there and it's allowed. But there is also a clear knowing that it's not you. Everything is coming and going, but who you truly are is not something that is coming and going. That is who you are, that's awareness. And from this point of view, you will see that mind activity is seen. The body is felt. Not from a center, but just from the knowing of who you are, which is one with what is seen. But fundamentally, you are awareness becoming aware of itself, and awareness becoming aware of the body mind. But you know who you are. So there's no confusion left. But you can only bring clarity into your confusion when you're not believing in my words, but discovering for yourself. Just go in and do not trust your mind for a few days. Just go to the breath for a few days until it becomes natural and normal to know and feel that there is something that is not in conflict with the mind. It's just there. Very easy, very peaceful. I hope this gave you a kind of clarity, and I thank you so much for your donation. And if you, whoever's watching this, have a question, please write it in the comments. And if you liked it, you can like this video and subscribe, and have a great day.